So today I thought I'd show you guys how to run some cargo packs, but as there seems to be a strong pirate faction on this server, that does seem to be an impossibility. They very much like to extort people for their money. And what they generally do is just sit here and wait at the docks. As you can tell, we got some pinks coming in, and if you try to spawn in or leave, they're just gonna come up and mark you for no reason. But then again, this is their content, but I think it's honestly kind of scummy just to kind of wait and sit at any type of cargo port just to wait for people to come out. But I guess if they really kind of want to waste their time, because I've seen a lot of people just not doing anything, as you very much can see, this person seems to want to try to run the gauntlet with them. But I'm not going to. So I guess this video is just gonna be kind of sidelined for now. So we're gonna go do some farming stuff. Too bad, we really can't make any content on any type of cargo packs because of this pirate faction. But I guess it does give me, a chance to explore this house with you guys. So this is a two-story cottage. It comes with two grow beds, will let you grow 50 seeds apiece. And you do have to kind of, pick which crop you want to put in here beforehand, and then come in and just put your seeds in. Now you might be asking, how do you get an upgraded house like this? Well, it costs 6 building management permits, and actually, I can probably just show you. So here's the redesigns, since I don't really have the other one right now. You need about 5 enchanted blueprints, 6 building management titles, 40 construction brick bundles, 20 wooden beam bundles, and then 20 construction tool bundles, and your taxes. And that's how you would be able to upgrade your house from the standard single floor house as seen here and upgrade it to one of these double houses. Now you might be asking, why do I have my house set at a diagonal angle? Well, having your house set at a diagonal angle helps you when you're trying to place anything kind of larger than single planting. Because, like, as you can see, like, I can get a lot in here on the single plant, but if you were to come over here to, let's say, this straight house, I would not be able to really kind of get anything more than just like the small single plant seeds. Like, I'm gonna be able to put any trees anywhere. Maybe able to clip it into a corner, but it would just be kind of a hassle. That's why you always, whenever you build a house, you want to turn it at a diagonal in a diamond shape, so you can get the most amount of grow room in here. Like on this house, I can get 6 cedars down, which is not a lot, but when land is kind of hard to find, it is kind of really nice to be able to at least get something down. And the general basic overview of farming is you have your 3 categories. I'll pull them up right. Not 3 categories, but I think it's 5. We'll double check here in a second. But yeah, so the basics of planting is, you click the seed or sapling into your inventory, place it down, and you're good to go. And once you do have something like a house or a tent, or even like a tree house, you can get to what's called a farmhand. Now granted, my farmhand isn't the highest level. I just actually lost my vigor due to remodeling my house. But what the farmhand lets you do is you can put your unused farm. So I have a gazebo in here for my upgraded 16 by 16, and that has capacity 400. So say I wanted to, grow some lemon saplings. So each lemon sapling is 10 capacity. And as I'm pretty sure you can assume, since I have 40 of them, I'd be able to put 40 lemon saplings in my farmhand. And the nice thing about, the farmhand is I will actually do about 4 to 5 harvest per climate, not per climate, per per tree. So you get about 5 harvests out of your saplings, and then after that fifth one, it gives you all the logs, and you're kind of good to go. Now you can also put in bundles too, which are really kind of helpful in your farmhand because it will give you a little bit more stuff. But that's just what I like to do sometimes. A lot of people kind of prefer to single plant instead of putting bundles in. But yeah, a quick overview of farming. We got husbandry, farming, logging, gathering, and those are your main four for whenever you're trying to do anything on your land. You're usually going to be doing one of these. Fishing and mining can be done on land, but it's very kind of niche land. Like fishing, you can get small bamboo traps. I don't have some on hand, but let you gather them every 6 hours on this server. Every 12 hours, 6 hours on the archerage server, which is kind of nice. And that's blanket for anything that's on land. Is that on the archerage server it does kind of half the time for everything. So it's not like you're waiting 3 days because your trees are in the wrong climate. And that's kind of just another note. Like so, most plants and most things you can put down that is a plant or a tree or husbandry in husbandry or as a grain will have a zone. So like this barley seed right here will have, I will tell you right off the top, it will be vocation, farming, category, green, matures in 43. On the archerage server, go ahead and just cut that in half. The climate is a subarctic, and the farmhand capacity is 1. And it tells you where to get them, and sometimes you can get them in wild harvests. So, how to check what your what your zone is? So you would have to come to the map. Here in Aurora, a lot of zones have two different climates. So you have temperate and tropical for this zone. But say for something like Ipney Ridge, you again tropical. But Mithrin Gorge would be arid and temperate, even though there's no housing zones here. Same with up here, there's not really any housing zones where you'd be able to put anything down. But there's some special stuff like Diamond Shores, which has 3 different zones, and it has 2 different housing zones. You have your housing zone over here for the Huronian Alliance, you have your Newing Alliance, and then you have your Aqua zones. And we can go check out the Aqua zones right now. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're here at Diamond Shores, and we're gonna go check out some bungalows and stuff, and the aqua farms. So there's 2 styles of aqua farms to start out. There is the 16 by 16 aqua farm, which is the cheapest one to get realistically. And then there's these pearl farms, which are 28 by 28. And they just generally do the same thing. They allow you to grow coral, any type of bamboo traps here, and they're very kind of niche. A lot of these materials are used in alchemy. But let's get on to the funner stuff. So here is a tidal bungalow. Tidal bungalows, in my opinion, are the best things to kind of put down, and that's generally because they do come with a fish stand on them. As you recall from my last video, we went over and turned in at the dock over there. But if you had a tidal bungalow, or if one is open in the housing zone, you can easily just come here and turn in here instead of having to go to the hot zone of the dock. So it does kind of give you an added protection and added convenience to be able to go to your own home or an open home in the territory instead of having to go back to the dock every single time. And in terms of, aqua homes, real estate is kind of the big one here. The closer you can get to the front of the zone where you would be leaving for something like a tidal is gonna be the more expensive and more sought after land, because it is just so much better for coming in when you're doing fishing. And these are placed on, let me double check, a 28 by 28, so it's gonna be the same size as one of those pearl farms. But let's see if we can find ourselves a regular bungalow. There's one. So here is a breezy bungalow. Currently, it's not really open, but it's about the same size and shape as a general 16 by 16 house. It's just on the water, and you get a bit more. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 24 by 24. Well, let's go ahead and look into into one of these breezy bungalows. I know there's a one house open over here. So this is, the general inside of a breezy bungalow. Usually there's not this much stuff, but since someone owns this house, it is, decorated. And there's a couple things you can do with the breezy bungalow house, besides just selling fish. So every so often, you get barnacles growing on your house, and you generally can collect this, and you get stuff like black pearls, which is chiefly used in, alchemy and some other stuff. You also get an underwater breathing device on your house, which is really nice when you're out collecting aqua farms or any type of underwater or any coral you have on your land, which is super nice. And like, we can look at the size of this, so it's a lot of land for planting, so you can get some pretty good amount of coral out of this, or cut down a lot of fishing traps if you want to get your Dom Lake essence up, or just get your fishing up, and just kind of do it in an AFK way, so you don't have to actually stand around. Just come back every hour or so and collect your fishing traps, and that's an easy way to do it. Now, another note for the barnacles here is that you can also get barnacles on your boats. So every so often, if you leave your ship out long enough for a long enough period of time, your ship will grow a barnacle, and you can remove it and get the same type of materials you would get off a bungalow, but you get them a lot less regularly. Like now, if you were to look at it, really kind of don't have anything. It's just kind of empty. But every so often, you get a barnacle like in this area or down over here under the bow, stern of the ship, I mean. And I mean, that's a general overview of some farming stuff. And that's the end of this video.